we're at the Wadena Historical Society and Museum in Wadena, Minnesota. It is the Wadena Intergenerational Project. We're interviewing seniors and we're interviewing them about the history of the area and their personal history.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that information that we gathered and we're going to put it into either a monologue or a dialogue. It's definitely going to be a new experience.
Well, what I've instructed them to do is at least get a good story or two out of each person that they interview. And so far the 5 people that we had today had a lot of really interesting things to say.
Well, I've always been interested in his story.
I don't know, somebody called me and said my name had been put into interview, and so, well, what the heck. I remember more about them days than I do of yesterday.
I'm teaching them about dramatic structure. And once you're aware of those dramatic elements, you see that they're instinctual for a lot of people when they tell a story.
Just watching the seniors today, I think it was a joy to them. I mean, they just couldn't quit talking enough. They wanted to, it seemed like they just kept telling things and telling things.
Anything else you want to know?
The kids after the interviews couldn't stop talking about all the things that people had said and how interesting they were and funny.
We opened up and here was a big box of glass eyes and they was all looking at you different ways.
I interviewed Ruby and she was awesome.
I really enjoyed visiting with them. It was very easy to talk to, both of them.
Working with the people that are, in some cases, 70 years older than them, that grew up in the same town, I think that that's been inherently valuable, and the kids get a tremendous amount just out of sitting and listening to people talk. We did more writing than rehearsing. We had about 15 hours of interviews. The big challenge was just sorting through all this stuff and choosing what we're going to put in and making it kind of cohesive.
We're going to take like different points of it, and then we're going to use those points and make our monologue or dialogue. And then we're all going to put them together and see what we can come up with.
Very impressed with the work that they've done. Nelson's done a great job helping them hone the ideas and taking the interviews and pulling it together.
It's come together really well. Just what they told us, some of it goes together so well. We've been able to create just little dialogue pieces too.
So thanks to everybody for coming. This has been a really, really exciting project.
I think they've done a great job with capturing the essence of what the conversations have been, the interviews, trying to keep the voice of the people and yet make it coherent and put them into a variety of aspects of their lives.
Wadena Playwright Project has been awesome.
Well, I think it's nice that they're interested in this. They're the future to preserve our history.
Well, I think it's good because they can maybe read about these things, but it doesn't have the same impact or meaning as if you can talk to someone who's experienced it.
I think sometimes the separation of generations, you have a tendency to stereotype older people or younger people, and the more contact they have with them, the more they learn how they're not stereotypes, how old people are, unique and different, and in some ways, you might have something more in common with somebody who is 70 years older than you than somebody who's the same age as you.
You don't get it in history books. There's lots you don't get in history books that went on locally here.
I have to admit, I'm not a history person. I hate history. And this has made me like history and like learning history. It's pretty awesome.